Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Until My Watch is Over. This is a podcast where we talk about the devastating truth that dementia is a killer. Why do I talk about that? Because it's the sixth top killing disease in our nation. And I honestly don't think that we talk about it enough. So I just want to welcome you in today. My name is Mickey. I'm your host. I'm an advocate and I'm also a speaker on behalf of dementia. So I'm not sure where you are today. I know that this episode is going to be talking about the holidays. The holidays are right around the corner. Don't know what your plans are or your preparations are, but I just want to talk about it today and just kind of share, some thoughts on it. I don't know about you, but if you're a caregiver or if you yourself has dementia or you're going to a nursing home to visit a family member with dementia, I just kind of want to talk about um, going into the holidays, kind of what the expectations could be. Um, just give you some pointers, the ins and outs, basically. So, how do you manage the holidays with your loved one? I'm going to explain with myself because that's the best example I can give you. My grandmother is going to be 95 on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And we like to keep things as simple as possible because we want to cause less confusion. And for most people that know about dementia, it's a cognitive decline in your mind. And so keeping things as familiar and similar as possible is a key element. It's huge. It's a big factor in helping your loved ones get through the holidays. Now, holidays can be hectic. They're hectic without taking care of a loved one. I don't know about you, but trying to get everybody's presents, trying to get everybody taken care of, trying to get everything done in preparation for the holidays is a lot. And that in itself can be overwhelming. And doing it, trying to figure out how to work and manage it around a loved one is also an added weight basically to the holidays, I think. So it's important that we talk about it. I want to talk about just let's manage the expectations. Let's just go there, okay? Now, my grandmother, being 95 years old, I do not take her in and out of the house. We don't go anywhere. We don't leave to go to other people's houses for holidays. Now, we've been invited to go, to come for dinner, but purposely we don't go because it causes too much confusion. It's too disruptive. And so it's really important that we think about how to keep them in their routine and focused in what they're doing. So I just want to share that with you that if you can try not to travel with them, that would be the best way to take care of them, honestly. My grandma doesn't travel well at all anyway, so to get her even out the door in the vehicle seems like it's huge, huge task to be able to handle. Now, I don't know where you are exactly with, your loved one or in your situation, but staying home is a really good idea. Now, can you have family come to your house? Absolutely, you sure can. Just keep in mind that if you're going to break the routine of your loved one, it's going to cause or could cause, I'm not saying it's going to cause, but I'm going to say it could cause some agitation, some frustration, some confusion. And with a lot of overstimulation, basically, it could allow your loved one to not enjoy the holiday. So just try to be mindful. If you're going to have a whole house full of people, what that might do to the person that is dealing with this disease. Now, if depending on what stage they're in, my grandma is in stage 6. So she's at that point where we don't try to change anything. But when she was in her earlier stages, it was okay because we were able to stimulate um, her interaction with people and also with food and just activity. So the music that we played, the conversations that we had, even taking photographs, and just trying to put all of those things into perspective. We need to seriously consider and be mindful as to what it can and will or might do, what effect it might have on them. So that's why I want to talk about it today. I want to just focus in a little bit. So Adjusting your plans is something that I find that I have to do um, on a constant. So if I get invited to a holiday function, I just, obviously politely decline because I'm not able to go. I'm not able to take my grandmother. And now I could probably go if I wanted to find someone to take care of my grandmother, but with her being 95, I want to spend the holidays with her because I don't know how many more she has left. So I don't know what age you're at with your loved one, excuse me, but you may find that it's um, important to spend that quality time with your loved one if they are especially older like my grandmother. But time is of the essence, I think. So I think it's important. So anyway, manage expectations. Be realistic. You need to be realistic about what the holidays actually look like. And it's okay to discuss the limitations with your family members. Say, hey, these are the limitations. Okay. You can come and visit. You can come for dinner. These are the expectations that I need from you. And it's okay to do that because when they leave, you're the one who has to take care of it. When they go back home or the event is over, you're going to be the one that has to handle the reaction that comes with the visitation of a family member. So it's okay to set limitations, and I do this clearly, and I do this, obviously kindly, but I let people know like what to bring, what not to bring, what to do, what not to do, what time of day to come, what time of day we literally operate everything around my grandmother's schedule, everything. And so with my grandmother, she's a night owl. She doesn't like to get up until afternoon, 12, 1 o'clock. And so that's when she's having breakfast. So we don't have dinner until like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening because she doesn't like to get up early. So normally Thanksgiving for us, we used to eat like at 2, 3 o'clock. We'd have everything done and, everything out, and then we could just eat and then, hang out as family and take pictures and do all those things. Well, this time we can't do that. We're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to change up the routine and the schedule so it accommodates my grandmother. Now, some people might think, well, that's kind of crazy. It's not. It's really not. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard to make accommodations for your family, especially someone that you love. Um, you just figure it out. You manage it. That's what managing expectations means. Just manage it. But beforehand, just make sure that you let your family members know what you're doing. All you have to do is communicate it. Most people are pretty willing for the most part. Now, if it's out of their realm and they don't want to do it, they don't have to come, you know? And yeah, I mean, we all want our family to come, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? You have the right to manage that and do manage it. Make sure you just manage it. Now, maintaining the routine. What does that look like? For holidays, for Thanksgiving, there's an overabundance of food. There's a lot of different types of smells in the house and different stuff like that. So with my grandmother, she likes to eat a lot in the morning. Um, so I'm gonna make her a big meal, for the morning part, and she's gonna have a smaller meal in the evening. Now I know with my grandmother, she chokes on her food a lot, so she's gonna be eating a lot of the soft foods like the stuffing, the mashed potatoes and gravy. Um, Turkey will be cut real small and stuff like that for her, just so that she can eat it and still maintain. So I do have to, think about that. But we want to just try to keep her routine as closely as possible to the same. Because when you throw them off their routine, it could take a couple to several days to get them back, acclimated back to what they're used to. And so if you have your loved one on a really good schedule, and I do, I have a really good schedule for my grandma, you want to make sure that you just keep everything acclimated. You want it to stay, the same. So just remember that. Now, adjust gatherings. Okay, keep visits short. I know that sounds like, hey, Thanksgiving's an all-day thing. Okay, you don't want to overstimulate because that's when I personally think, from just experience, that's where I feel like they get agitated because it's bringing on confusion. It's something that they're not normally having every day in their routine. So keep the visits short. Come in, visit for a little bit, and then they can go in the other room and visit with other family members or whatever. But for that loved one specifically, keep their visits short. Okay. You don't want them to get overstimulated. Okay. Make sure that you limit how many people are around them because we don't want to bring on anxieties. We need to make sure that whatever time of day, it's the time of day that usually they're the most alert and the most active. That's when you want them to have their visitors to visit them, if that makes kind of any sense. It maybe sounds cliche or a little bit strange to this next suggestion is to prioritize their comfort, not your comfort. Okay, oops. You want to prioritize their comfort. Knock that down. Um, a lot of times we want to prioritize, everyone in the room, but the person that you need to prioritize is the person that has dementia. That's the one you need to prioritize. You need to make sure that you keep them as comfortable as possible, keep the house as quiet as possible, keep their space somewhat freed up. Make sure that you keep their environment safe and what else? Oh, like, just want to make sure you keep hazards. I mean, when you have family over and you got kids running around and they're playing and they're waiting for, you know, pumpkin pie and turkey and, all of the goodies and everything that goes on Thanksgiving, you just want to make sure that the surroundings of your loved one stay safe. Okay, because sometimes you get distracted and those things you don't really keep those in the back of your mind sometimes. Like, hey, let's not run around grandma because we don't want her to, we don't want you to fall on her trip or any of that. Like, not that that would happen, that could happen though. So we just need to understand that we need to keep their surroundings safe. Just be mindful of it. Okay, because those distractions do happen and they can come. Okay, with other people coming in the house, a lot going on. So the other thing is to accept help as needed. Don't be afraid to accept somebody's help. If they're willing to help you with your loved one, or for me, my grandma, let them help you with that, with your grandma or your loved one, your husband, your spouse, your mom, your dad, whatever or whoever your loved one is. Accept help. If they say, hey, would you like me to fix them a plate? Hey, would you like me to help assist with X, Y, and Z? You know, let them assist you. When you have extra family members over, let them help you. This gives you a little bit of a break. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? It's okay to accept the help. A lot of times we get so set in our own ways and we want things to be done a certain specific way. I know I'm really bad at this myself. I need to take my own advice because I literally have a really hard time with it, wanting people to get in there because I have her on such a strict and, it's so stringent, this routine that I have her on. I don't want it to get messed up. When someone's helping you, just let them help you. Even if you just have to instruct them through it, you can give them instructions. That doesn't mean stop and go and show them. It's not a show and tell. It's letting them help you so that you get the break. Take the break. Take it. Enjoy the holiday yourself, okay, as well, okay? So you want to definitely make sure, you're creating a comfortable environment. You're engaging the environment. You want to make sure you're paying attention to the sensory triggers um, that are familiar to them. The smells, the sounds, that, like, if my grandma sometimes likes the TV on, sometimes she doesn't. My grandma sometimes likes music on, sometimes she doesn't. My grandma loves to smell the food cooking. Okay. Um, Give her a little sample. Put a little bit in a dish and give it to them. So you obviously don't want to ruin their whole dinner or ruin their whole routine. But if they're sitting there smelling it, they're probably savoring it. And they don't understand, honestly, they don't understand that they have to wait for it. So it's okay to give them a little snip, a little bit, taste or two. I mean, we're in there cooking and tasting. Why can't they, right? And I'm sure if it's your grandmother, my grandmother was the one in the kitchen, and she liked to taste her food and make sure her food was good. So those familiar smells are probably going to trigger some of those familiar memories. Not necessarily, not always, but sometimes they can. They can trigger those emotions. So it's okay to engage in that. Okay, make the holidays familiar to them. It's important. It helps them. It helps them with their memory. You know. So always try to remember to keep it simple. Whatever you're doing, just keep it simple. Don't go all out like Um, so her birthday is the day after Thanksgiving, my grandmother's. And if I think about it, like we got the big balloons and we had the banners and we had, everything decorated, everything, the streamers and all that. This year we're just going to go real simple with her because we don't want it to be too elaborate for her. Not that we don't want to have the party, we do want to have the party, but we need to keep it simple for her so it's not so much for her to take in and try to figure out. Because people with dementia, they can't figure things out. They need that simple-minded element instead of over elaborate element. Because if you're pouring too much into them, they can't process. Their brain cannot process it, and it becomes overwhelming. And that's where the agitation comes in. That's where they get really tired, they get fatigued, and they get frustrated. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. Do not do that. Okay. Also, remember if people are bringing over food, have them bring over items that are familiar. My grandmother loves pistachio salad. If you know someone that can make it, knows how to make it, have them make it. My daughter's flying in this week, so she's going to be making it for my grandma this week. Stuff like that. My grandmother loves the mashed potatoes and the gravy, just like we all do. She likes the dinner rolls and the cranberry sauce. We're going to have food that's familiar. Okay. Now, sometimes people might bring food that's not familiar to your loved one. Just don't be offended if they don't eat it. I mean, that's just the way it is. Not everybody eats everything anyway at Thanksgiving. Some people like certain things, some people don't. So um, just don't let it, have an effect on you. Okay. Then, um, like when you're doing dinner time and everyone's gathering up to get food, um, either feed them first. I say her because it's my grandmother. Feed her very first or feed her very last. That doesn't mean like everybody eat in front of her. I mean, serve her plate last. Like get everybody taken care of and then focus on her. That way you can take care of her. Or focus on her first and then everybody else can come get their food. So that's how I manage it in my household because I have my grandkids and my daughters. And if we're having a big meal, I want them to get their food and go sit down. And so I can just spend time taking care of grandma. So that way I can give them what they need when they need it and not have to wait, um, you know, um, in between everyone else doing that. So try to get all the kids done and then jump in and start doing taking care of grandma. So that way I'm completely 100% focused on her, if that makes any sense. Okay. And again, ask for help. If there's somebody that can help, take the help. Offer choices. I like to offer choices to my grandmother. Like, does she want juice? Does she not want juice? Does she want um, water? Like my grandma has to have water with her food. She gets her juice later. So it's kind of when you're used to having a holiday, you're used to having all of it all at once. It's okay to separate it out and give it to them as they're used to getting it. So just keep that in mind. So I hope that anyway, I hope that some of these ideas and tips are going to be helpful for you. Just want to remember, engagement. Keep it simple. Be mindful of their safety. Make sure it's familiar to them. Sights, sounds, and smells. You want them all to be familiar. Um, reduce how much time everyone spends with your loved one because that can cause agitation, and you don't want to overwhelm or overstimulate the situation. It could cause for a really rough night for you if there's too much going on in the household. So just be mindful of that, okay? When you invite your guests over, I don't know if you're having a big family whoop to do where they're going to be there all day. Um, just be mindful about how much time they're spending, okay? Not that you don't want your family around. That's not the key point here at all. The point is you don't want the overstimulation. You don't want them to get agitated. So, like for my grandma, we have a certain time that we're going to eat, and they're going to come at the time that it's time to eat, not come and hang out all day while we're making food because we still have to take care of grandma. We have to get her up and, change her and, all of that goes into the day. The daily routines that we normally do with her every day still have to take place, even though you're having an event, even though you're celebrating a holiday. So just keep those things in mind. Anyhow, I hope those tips were helpful. And I just hope that you all have an amazing and wonderful Thanksgiving and that you and your loved one get to enjoy it and be safe. And this week, like I said, is Thanksgiving. So God bless you all. And I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. This was another episode of Until My Watch is Over. I hope that it was helpful. And I just thank you for following along and being here. Y'all take care. And oh, by the way, if you want to be a guest on the show, you want to come in and share some tips of your own, please get in touch with me. Either wherever you watch this podcast, put it in the platform and or message me at Until My Watch is Over and send me a message and I'll get back with you and I can get you on the show. All right. Have a great and happy and safe Thanksgiving. God bless you all. Take care.